Samantha, how are you?
Hey.
What's your daily routine?
So my daily routine is I wake up, wash my face, brush my teeth, and then log on to Beatrix for work.
What's your best memory of Zimbabwe?
My best memory of Zimbabwe is probably my childhood. Growing up, playing in the streets, and Zimbabwean games, raka raka, no, stuff like that. Yeah, so best memory.
What's your worst memory of Zimbabwe?
Has to be probably 2008 with everything that was happening politically. That's probably one of my worst memories.
What 5 things are you the most proud of?
Of my own achievements, basically.
Yes.
Sure. I'm proud that I was brave enough to move back to Zimbabwe and try and make it in life in this country. I'm proud of my work and what I do. I'm proud of the fact that I got a fellowship to Columbia, that I've been able to get a few grants in my lifetime. Yeah.
You studied in America, and how was that experience for you?
It was amazing because that was my first time ever leaving the country, leaving the continent. And it was just an eye-opening experience. For the first time, I kind of was exposed to a different way of life, a different way of thinking. I was kind of able to come out of the conditioning that I'd grown up in Christianity and kind of allow myself to kind of come out of that box and explore, what else is out there, basically.
Did you feel like you couldn't get the same quality of education in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, I definitely felt that because I studied television broadcasting, and at the time there was not, I'm sure there were schools, but they didn't have the equipment. So I guess being in the film industry, you always need to, it's very technical, especially if you want to be behind the camera, and it's always wise to kind of learn with the latest and best equipment because that's how the industry, equipment changes a lot. So you kind of have to be in a place that is able to provide you with that best technology that you can learn using, basically.
Do you believe in feminism?
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't believe in the idea of equality of the sexes?
What does feminism mean to you?
Feminism to me is about women coming together and standing up for themselves, standing up for their rights, and standing up for what they believe they deserve.
How do you think Zimbabwean men view feminism?
I think Zimbabwean men view feminism in a very negative way. I can give myself as an example. Growing up, I just thought that feminism was about angry women who want to kill men, basically. But it took me kind of coming out of the country and learning more about feminism to realize, oh no, it's obviously not that, but it's a good thing, it's a positive thing. And I think a lot of the way men in this country are exposed to feminism is very negative.
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. I don't know that I have a favorite movie, but one of the movies that I really love is Matilda, because it reminds me of my childhood and just magic, basically.
What's your favorite place to visit in Zimbabwe?
My favorite place to visit in Zim is my top 3, Victoria Falls, Kariba, but my most favorite is obviously Mutare. That's my hometown, that's where I was born, that's where I grew up, and it's beautiful, mountains, it's so green, it's just a vision, honestly.
5 years from now, where will we find you?
5 years, hopefully you'll find me with some content on Netflix. Traveling around the world, being bi-coastal, living in Zimbabwe and maybe somewhere else in Europe or the United States, growing my own project and organization with my friend Butle called Kanyanga Art House, so you guys should check that out. So yeah.
You are the project lead for Voice to Rep Zimbabwe. Do you feel that there's enough female representation when it comes to women who sing socially conscious music?
No, there is not enough representation, especially when it comes to women, because women don't have the same opportunities for men to get that exposure that they need. For example, when we started Voice to Rep and we asked people to submit auditions, you'd find that we had, I think, 70% 16% only submissions from women, and of those submissions, none of the women had any pre-recorded or studio recorded music, simply because they just didn't have that access. Yeah.
What main areas do you think the government needs to focus on in terms of women's rights?
I think, for me, there's a lot, but I think the ones that I can, at the top of my head right now, is creating safe spaces and a safe environment for women, especially when it comes to gender-based violence. We've been hearing about these scary attempted abductions that have been happening recently, and also access to sanitary wear, free access for all women. And lastly, I think abortion rights for me is really, really important, because a lot of women are putting their lives at risk to have illegal abortions because there's not an environment where women can get that.
What's your take on the role of women in leadership and politics?
My take, obviously, I love women in politics and I love seeing women participate in politics. However, I feel that sometimes women in politics often face a lot of unnecessary scrutiny, especially if they're not married. Sometimes I feel like women are used as an agenda and stuff. So I just want to see more women who are uplifted by other women, standing up for the rights of women, but not just that, just women being allowed to be in politics, just allowing women to be.
Recently, there was a short documentary on Epworth Maternity Ward, where nurses are looking for bribes in order to treat their patients. What are your views on that?
It's quite scary that we live in a country where this is a thing, like where women have to pay nurses bribes to get a healthy delivery, and something that should be free and accessible to all women, which means that women who are from poorer communities are going to be facing much, much bigger risks of like either losing their own lives or losing the lives of their baby. And I think that these services need to be regulated.
What are your views on the patriotic bill?
I don't have views.
Do you think we have enough female representation in politics?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we have enough female representation in politics. But I also believe that it is because from a young age, like when women are educated in school, I think that's where it starts. I think we can't yes, we can try and have representation, but when you force it, sometimes it's not sustainable. So I think it starts with how we educate women, the spaces we create for women from a young age to be involved in politics, to engage in politics, to be interested, how safe it is for women to engage in politics. And women just being allowed to be in politics more than, like, it's not just that you're a woman, so you have to be in politics and represent women's issues. Women need to be allowed to represent whatever issues that they want to represent.
One last question. What is the one thing you want people to remember you by?
I think I want people to remember me as someone who came out of a country, Zimbabwe, and was able to make the best of the situation and support many, many incredible creative people and have their work put on national and international platforms. So just someone who was able to open doors for others and help people achieve their dreams.
Thank you so much for your time. We're going to leave you.
Welcome. Thank you for coming.